Okay, and welcome to the University of Lethbridge. Our university's Blackfoot name is Iniscum, meaning Sacred Buffalo Stone. The university is located in traditional Blackfoot Confederacy territory. We honor the Blackfoot people and their traditional ways of knowing and caring for this land, as well as all Indigenous peoples who have helped shape and continue to strengthen our university's community. My name is Hannah Thomas. I am the Graduate Recruitment Officer here at the University of Lethbridge. Joining me this evening is Dr. Louise Escobar, the Assistant Dean of Graduate Programs with the School of Business. Louise will be presenting on our Masters of Science in Management program, as well as our new program, Masters of Management. So feel free to post your questions in the Q&A section, and we will respond to your questions at the end of our presentation. All right, Louise, if you want to take it away.
Thank you, Hannah. Welcome, everybody. Okay, and let's get started. I know you are probably have full of questions. I asked Hannah to allow me to squeeze in the Master of Management because this is a new program we are bringing fall 2025, and some of you may be interested. And then we will go into the Master of Science in Management. So the Master of Management is a brand new program and is going to be offered in Calgary exclusively in person. And for whom this program is designed is for non-business related undergrad degree holders. And those that have from just out of your undergrad university or program to up to 4 years of experience. And why is this the target is because this is a transition type of program into a new career path for professionals. And they have an interest in supervisory roles. And so the idea is to provide another orientation or realignment, I would say, of your skills and competencies with what market demands are. And certainly, we have seen in Canada a need for more business-related degree holders, and the Master of Management is a venue for those that have no business degree to actually get into these opportunities. What courses will we offer? We offer the core business courses, HR, like leadership and managing people, and then we have finance, accounting, strategy, and business analytics. As I said, it's in person. Is we are stressing a lot of hands-on experience. What does this mean? Is the program is not going to focus 100% on theories and frameworks. It's going to focus on theories, frameworks, and then the application. So what this ensures is that our graduates are going to be work ready, going to be able to perform in organizations, being these for-profit or non-for-profit organizations from day one. And so we are making a lot of emphasis on being about hands-on experience in the classroom. You will have a work-integrated learning opportunity through the program in small batches, but significantly at the very end, which is a work-integrating capstone course. We call it Management 6100. That course is going to connect you with a real organization and is going to provide you the opportunity to actually use the knowledge that you have acquired, the skills you have acquired, into a real case, into a real environment, and provide recommendations. And these real cases issues, so to speak, can differ from one organization to another. So we expect to offer a good sample of opportunities for students to put their knowledge and skills acquired in the program to practice. And I think that these enhance the opportunities of our students to actually land a job in the market once the program is complete. This program lasts 16 months in total as a full-time student, and you have the opportunity as well to take it as a part-time. But as I said, it's only in Calgary, and is the delivery form is in person. What are the application requirements? If you go to our web page, you will see that this is not open yet because we are finalizing the minor details so that to open applications and release the information needed. But I just giving you this, and this is what you're gonna see in our web page once we formalize all the details, and hopefully that will be this week or next week at the latest. So you will need a GPA of 3.0 minimum based on a 4 scale, what the university use. We're asking a Casper test. A Casper test is a situational-based test that you have to take. There is no need to study anything or to enroll in any specific program. These tests measure your cognitive abilities, and then it's very situational test in terms of measures or attempts to measure professionalism, ethical values, willingness to engage and learn. And so it gave us a more holistic approach to assess applicants. You have the traditional English language proficiency requirements of the university at grad level. You have to submit your CV and resume and 2 references. One can be academic, one can be professional, and a letter of intent. We have 2 deadlines. For international applicants, you can apply on up to February 15th. This will ensure that it gives you a lot of opportunity for secure your visa. And domestic applicants can apply up to May 1st. So they definitely can apply by February 15 as well. But May 1st will it be the latest that you can apply if you are a domestic applicant. And as I said, this is to start fall 2025. If there are questions, I can address some of the questions you have right now on this program. Or either you can email dillon.msc@ules.ca.
There
If we
is a
don't have
couple
questions, we can move into the other
questions.
program. Yes, go ahead,
Yeah,
Hannah.
there is a couple questions
Yep.
about the specific program. Somebody asks who are eligible to apply for this new program. I think you went over the eligibility.
Yes, there are no. So if you have a business degree, then you cannot apply, or business-related degree, you cannot apply to this program. You will be better served by the Master of Science in Management.
Okay. Somebody else asks, I have a background in educational management and a master's in business management already. Can I opt for the Masters of Management? Secondly, my experience over the years has been around e-commerce and digital advertising. Are there programs that aligns with my experience?
Yeah, the next ones that they're gonna present just shortly after this, the Master of Science in Management will be better served for you, better aligned with your profile, Peter.
Yeah. Okay, and another question is, I received a bachelor's degree and a master's degree in agricultural sciences, and I have also job experience in business organizations more than 23 years. Am I eligible to apply for this program?
Well, your bachelor and master degrees will be okay, but the fact that you have more than 4 years of experience make you not ideal candidate for this program. So the Master in Science in Management could be another option for you.
All right, that's it so far, Luis.
Okay, so if there are other questions that we can come back to this program later on. No, you don't need a GRE or GMAT score for the Master of Management. That's not needed. Okay, let's get into the Master of Science in Management. The Master of Science in Management, we have 2 paths. One path is the thesis-based, and the second path is course-based. It's the business analytics, what we internally call the BANA concentration, or we call it informally really the BANA program. So there are 2 paths, the thesis-based and the course-based path. The I'm going to give you a more detailed explanation because we have more experience with this program. So I'm going to talk to you about the opportunity in which we're going to cover where the market and data-driven economy is and what we're observing in Canada, the jobs you can get and the skills needed. That's the opportunity. But I want to talk as well about how we can help you actually match your professional skills, get the professional skills, and actually met the opportunity that we have in the market, so that you have increased chances to fulfill your professional aspirations after the program. So how is the Canadian market for jobs in the data-driven economy? As you know, data is now king, right? And this information is couple years back. We haven't had the new databases that we have. We haven't processed it yet. The new market information. But in the last 2 years, we have seen about 14,000 jobs posted nationwide, which is a 52% increase in terms of business analytics. And I will go into specifics just in a bit, because when I talk about business analytics, I am not just referring to the BANA program, but you will see how the thesis-based program can actually speak to this. In Alberta only, which you have there in blue, you will have about 1,200 jobs, which is a more than 30% increase in the job market. How much do they pay? And in business schools, we always talk about return on investment. See, this is a way to measure return on investment in business schools, which is what is your starting salary? And what we have seen in job posting analysis is that the median salary is about $91,000. And it varies from across provinces within Canada, certainly. But this is what we are observing in the market as per the analysis of job posting. What type of jobs could you expect in a data-driven economy? Well, look at the list of these jobs are the most common job postings that we have observed in the market in the last 2 years. Business analyst, continuous improvement specialist, analytical manager, business analyst specialist, business consultant, government analyst, instructor, a pathway to a PhD. The ones that are undersubscribed, the ones that have a line on there, is the ones highlighted are the ones that I am mentioning that for which the thesis base provide specific skills that will make you more competitive. So all in general are what is required now in the general term of business analysts. So what are the skills companies are looking for? Well, the top specialized skills needed, and when I said specialized skills, and the underline that you see there, those that are underlined are those that are specifically related to the thesis-based program. These are hard to acquire skills, and we are certain that we provide these skills. In general, the MSc program will give you data analysis, business analysis skills, business knowledge, specifically in a specific area if you're doing the thesis base. Some computer science, because you will learn R, for example, which is a programming software or a language that we are using right now. And then we have data collection, research design, and quantitative or qualitative skills, depending on the research method you use. The underlying ones, as I said, mentioned research designs, data collection, and quantitative and qualitative skills are, in fact, skills that you can acquire in our thesis path. The top most common skills needed are communications, presentations, problem solving, research management, Microsoft Excel, R, and SPSS, which is a statistical software. And all of these we provide in both paths. So how do we deliver on these skills? How do we make sure that you acquire these skills in the program? Well, in the thesis base, you will have courses that will teach you about design, execution, analysis of a research study. You will have to collect data, analyze data, and create experiments or interviews or set up a statistical analysis. Apply your research skills to a specific area, which is a major that you have to that we offer. You can do it in accounting, in finance, in HR, in international management, or in policy and strategy. At the end of the thesis-based program, you have to produce a thesis that you have to defend, and which entails a research process and identifying your findings and contributions to a specific subject. In the business analytics or BANA program, as I mentioned, is a different approach. We give you the business management fundamentals in a specific area of your choosing, and then we in very general terms, what this business is about, and then we give you some sort of data or analytics, data science of analytics fundamentals. I think the advantage we have in our BANA path is that we are not expecting you to become programmers. We are not expecting you to become coders. We are expecting you to familiarize yourself with the fundamentals of R, Python, and other softwares so that you can perform the business analytics function, and you can deliver on the expectations a company has for these professionals. More so now in an environment of artificial intelligence in which you can use ChatGPT to code R and Python for you. And this is my own experience using R. I now find myself having an assistant in R along my coding abilities and the research projects I conduct and the work I do. I use ChatGPT to help me improve my coding, which is I don't feel I am an expert on, but certainly these new tools are providing enforcing the idea that we have at the beginning that we don't need to develop coders or programmers as other programs. We need to develop professionals that are able to think strategically about issues and being able to have the fundamentals, to ask the right questions, and the technical skills to actually deliver on solutions and finding solutions for companies, for organizations. What are the courses that will allow you to get these required skills? So I apologize for the quality of this image. I didn't realize it was that it looked that bad until a few minutes ago. But there are common courses that in both paths you are going to have to take in the thesis-based or in the business analytics path in the BANA program. You will have a major seminar, which in the thesis-based will give you a very fundamental knowledge in your major, in the major that you have selected. Finance, accounting, marketing, and so on. Then you will have a research methods a course, and then a statistics course 1 and 2, which give you the fundamentals for statistical analysis. That will build for BANA, will give you the introductory statistics to take more complex courses in winter. And for thesis students, it will give you the statistical fundamentals to take the statistics 2 in winter later on. Both will have to take an overview of business analytics, what business analytics is about. Then we have for thesis students in the spring, and this is based on the spring 2023, but it's the same for next year, for 2026. It's going to be qualitative methods analysis, academic lit review, and a major seminar. But for BANA, as you see, you will start taking your courses in business analytics. All of these are half courses in BANA, which means there are 6-week-long courses. That's why you have so many courses in winter. There are not that many in the winter and summer, but these are 6-week long courses. So there are short courses, in fact. The thesis route will have a thesis proposal and thesis course in which you develop a proposal, a research proposal, working closely with your supervisor and supervisory committee. So you have a supervisor, which is a member of your area typically, and then 2 other faculty that will help you and guide you in the development of a research a question and justifying the method and justifying the theoretical approach, collecting the data on providing guidance on how you can collect the data for the analysis and therefore, and after that to develop the analysis. But you have to defend your proposal. And then once you have completed all the analysis, data collection analysis, and writing up the final document, you have to defend that document, which is the thesis. And that's the final milestone in the thesis project. In BANA, in summer, you will have the Python courses, an introduction to data science, courses in visualization, data wrangling, data management, and you will finish, you will finish with a 6100 course, which is the hands-on course with an organization. You will working with real data of organizations. They could be profit or non-profit organizations, and present the results to them using the knowledge acquired during the program. So you see, the courses we have in our program in both paths deliver on the expectations you have of skills you're going to acquire to match what the market is asking. I make the point early on that the top posted job titles and the underlying ones are the ones that the skills, or the ones that specifically suited for Master of Science in the thesis path, because you will acquire this set of skills in a lot more comprehensive way. It is a research project. In fact, my last 2 graduate students that I supervise in the thesis route, one is working as a business analyst for a bank here in Canada, and the other one is working as a business analyst for the government in British Columbia here in BC. So there are different paths. BANA and the MSc thesis path bring you different skills, complementary skills that could appeal to different sectors. Certainly, the Master in Science thesis path is the right approach, the right path to take if you want to pursue a PhD and become an academic or a researcher in the future. Definitely, the thesis path is the one that I will advise to you. What are the application requirements? Well, let me acknowledge first the acceptance is competitive. You need a 4-year bachelor degree in management, business, commerce related discipline, and really disciplines are assessed case by case. There is no expectations of how many years of experience, professional experience out of university you should have, as it was the case in the Master of Management. You need to have a minimum GPA of 3.0 in the University of Lethbridge scale of 4.0. The English language proficiency, as is required everywhere in our grad programs. You need a minimum 565 score on the GMAT Focus Edition. If you have a GMAT, I think it's test, the previous edition of this new GMAT test is 600, the score that you need to have, a minimum. All bands must be in the 50th percentile or higher. You need 3 letters of references, academic or professional, the CV, your resume, and a letter of intent. For this Master of Science, we have only 1 application deadline, and this is February 15. Let me talk about tuition finally, getting into the end. And tuition and fees. These are the 2024-2025 scheduled tuition and fees estimation. These are approximate numbers, and I have put an asterisk there because new fees are approved by the university in December, and they appear in the calendar in January. So these may change a little bit, but I don't know how much. We have no control of that. That's decided by the operups here in the university. So as you see, the domestic students is around $16,000 for the whole program, and for business analysis is analytics is about $16,000, and you see for internationals $30,000 and $44,000 approximately for international student, the thesis program, and the business analytics program. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you for attending. We can start with the questions and your concerns and comments.
Yeah. So thank you so much for that, Luis. The first question that we have is the Masters of Management 3.0 CP GPA requirement. Can I still apply if I don't meet that grade requirement? I currently have a grade of 2.76.
Well, if that is calculated by the university, I think the GPA, I think it will be a difficult argument to make. And right now, the decisions are made in both programs, the Master of Management and the Master of Science. The decisions are made by a committee. And if you contact us, we can maybe explore that possibility with the committee if the committee will be interested in the in that application. I certainly see it can be a hard sell to the program committee because the GPA is not met currently. And in previous occasions, the program committee have recommended those applicants actually not, or those interested students not to apply. But we can run that by the program committee if you choose to. Just contact us in that email, and we will make sure to provide you an answer.
And it's important to note that we are assessing your last 20 graded university courses. So a lot of the time, CGPA is for your entire program. So you will want to take a look at your last 20 graded courses to see what that GPA would be if you may have met that 3.0 requirement.
Exactly. That's a great point, Hannah. Thanks.
The other question is, do you have to finalize a potential supervisor before applying for an applicant? I guess before applying.
Yeah, if you're so clearly, Hussein, you're talking about the Master of Science, the thesis path. You don't need to find a supervisor because for the thesis path, and that's a great question, what we do contrary to other programs in the university, your application package is assessed by the area. So every member of the area provides a recommendation, and therefore, once you are here and you take the one course, which is 5,200, you will know almost every member in that major that you are in finance, in accounting, in marketing. And then you will have the opportunity by April to actually select your supervisor. So you don't need to secure a supervisor. You don't need to contact any faculty, in any instructor in that area that you are interested in. You just need to apply, and they will get your application package.
Could you provide this webinar recording after the session? Yes, we will post the webinar on our YouTube page, and I'll drop the link to the YouTube page in our chat so you can see the recording at a later date. Another question is, do you need programming experience to be an applicant?
No, I guess you are referring to the BANA program. No, you don't need any programming experience. We take you from zero to a very decent level in R and Python within the program.
Another question is, the tuition fee presented is for the whole program, or is it an annual fee only?
Yes, that's a great question. It's for the whole program. And Please make sure as you are shopping around and looking at other programs that what I have placed here is you have tuition and fees. Canadian universities and many universities in other countries don't follow this approach. In Canadian or North American universities in general, we have tuition, which cover your course costs, and then we have additional fees. For example, students pay here for access to the library, pay here for access to the gym and stuff. All of that, there are a lot of fees included in what you need to pay. But those fees are not related to your courses. Therefore, we have tuition and fees. So when you compare programs like our program with the cost of other programs in Canada or in the States, please make sure that your calculus include, your numbers include the tuition and the fees. So this is approximately the cost of the program, the whole program. Not including, of course, living expenses and books and that.
Right. So we have two questions about GMAT, both asking, can the GMAT requirement be waived? One's just general and then one's asking specifically for international students.
We only waive GMAT for our University of Lethbridge students that have a GPA of at least, I think, 3.75. But we don't waive a GMAT for international applicants.
Okay. Can we start in the course base and switch to the thesis base after taking the first required courses?
Well, Christine, that's a good question. We have done it it has happened, but it's not very common. I will tell you why that could be an issue, because the admission path, the admission process for the business analytics, the course base, is different than for the thesis base. The course base admission, the BANA program, is done by a program committee which is composed of members of different areas in the faculty. Not necessarily every area is represented. The thesis base assess mainly by the area or exclusively by the area, but they assess your interest in conducting research. The research process is tedious and is challenging because it's a learning by doing, and you have to be immersed in the data analysis to actually acquire the skills. So we find that is demanding and is challenging for the students. And so why it's different is because you can be admitted for the course-based program, but there is no guarantee that if you decide to transfer, that the area will assess, that will admit you in the program. I hope this makes sense, because there are different paths. So if you come here with a course-based program, and by December you want to change to a thesis base, the area have to assess your application again, and they can decide that you are not suitable for a thesis-based program, and therefore you won't be granted that option to move into the thesis base.
But I'm not certain what this question is asking, but it says, would you provide a link of faculty staff to your university?
Well, if you go to the Dillon School of Business, the faculty is there, is listed there. If that's what you're asking. If you want to connect with somebody for questions about our program, this is the email you need to use to ask questions about any of our programs.
Okay, I've posted the link to the Dillon School of Business webpage so that they
Thank
can
you.
access it. Okay, are there scholarships for the Masters of Science programs? And additionally, can I apply with my first master's program in business management since I already graduated with a distinction?
Yes, the Master of Science, only the thesis base have scholarships. And the reason is because is a thesis base that is going to produce an outcome for that could potentially benefit the university in terms of publications and conferences, but it's competitive. So not everybody, when you apply, you are considered for scholarships, and we call it University of Lethbridge Research Scholarship and assistantship, and you receive a fixed amount, uh, and uh, and you can get access to graduate assistantships. If you are admitted into the program, you will receive a letter stating how much scholarship and assistantship you have received. But it's competitive, so the best applicants will be offered more money, and and we don't have certainly enough for everybody. The course-based program, there is no, at the moment, we have no scholarship for the course-based program students.
For the 3 references, do we only provide contact names where the college will touch base with the references? So if you want, I can talk a little bit about
Yep.
how the references is.
Yes,
So
please.
our application system is online. So everything that you do is done online. When you're submitting your application, you'll be asked to indicate the name and email address of the reference. Our system will then email your reference and asking them to complete the referee form. Once it is that they've successfully completed that form, you will see on your application a tick to indicate that they've completed the reference. So in somewhat, yes, we are contacting, asking them to be a reference, but they have to look out for an email that they then go into the portal, do the reference, and it will be attached to your application automatically. All right, the next question was, do you have a scholarship or a fellowship opportunity? I think you spoke briefly about this. Where
Yes,
you mentioned,
we have some, but only for it's competitive only for thesis-based route, the thesis-based path in the MSc.
yes. So Christine was thanking us for responding to her question. Another question is, do you have a memorandum of understanding with loan providing agents or company? If yes, how they provide loan for a student?
I think there are some universities I am aware of in Canada. They have provide information of loan agencies for the students, even international students. We have no such agreement with anybody.
Okay, how do I apply for this thesis-based assistantship option? I think they're talking about the graduate assistantship.
Yes, for the graduate assistantship in the thesis-based route or path, at the moment that you apply, every applicant is considered. So all applicants are competing for the same pool of money. So all applicants are automatically considered and assessed and in terms of the scholarships and graduate assistantships.
All right. Somebody says, additionally, my master's was in Ukraine, but with the war in Ukraine, it's almost impossible to get a reference from my school. And now it's my school now. Can I get a reference from my current employer?
Yes, I think that will be, Peter, that will be possible, acceptable, but please make sure to contact, to send us an email providing the context if you are not able to provide that in your application, because the person that I have listed here along my name, Tammy Rognes, is a program administrator or program coordinator, and she will make sure that that information is it flows to the program committee. So when they are assessing your application, okay. But once if you apply, please make sure to contact, email this email here and contact Tammy is the one checking that email, and we will keep that in mind.
All right. Carl is asking, is there a postgraduate work permit program or a co-op program? So we
Well,
don't have a postgraduate work permit, but we do
Well,
have a
Hannah?
co-op. I'm not saying we're not responsible for postgraduate work permit program, but we have options for co-op students.
Yes, we don't have options for co-op students in the sense that we don't have created those options, but the co-op is an option for any of our students. What it means is that if you want to add a co-op option to for example, to your thesis path program, they certainly can be done, but the university doesn't provide specific resources for you to find those opportunities. We have a center of a co-op center, um, and as Hannah knows, and I have a students that being in the thesis program, they themselves have found opportunities for a co-op. At least one student have under my supervision have found that, and then they self found the opportunity, and then they registered in a co-op as part of the program, and of course their graduation was delayed, but they were pursuing this opportunity, and I think that is value there. But as I said, the program doesn't have it embedded. Instead, that is a requirement to graduate, but is an opportunity. If the student wants to pursue that option, it is possible.
Based on my academic background and job experience, am I eligible to apply for the business analytics program? I believe this person is the one with the agricultural background, if I am correct. Previously asked about whether or not they qualify for the Masters of Management program.
Yeah, if that is the case, I think it will be it will be fine. I don't think that any issue with that.
Okay. Another question about the co-op internship opportunity. I think you spoke about that already, where you can opt to do a co-op when you're doing the thesis based. Is it available if you're in the business analytics pathway, or is it only for thesis that you can do the co-op?
I think you can do it in both programs, but as I
Okay.
said, it is not a requirement. So students have to be very proactive in accommodating that within their program. The problem with a course-based program and a co-op is that your program gets delayed. So we offer the program once a year. So it starts once a year, right? Stands and fall is only one entry in the academic year. So if you are taking a co-op in the course-based program summer of year 2, it means that you have to wait another year to take those courses because we are not offering those courses every term. So a co-op what is a really good learning opportunity, it has implications, right? It has implications that it can delay your graduation. Therefore, those are decisions that the student itself themselves have to take, assessing the pros and cons once they have the opportunity in hand. It is more feasible, I believe, in the thesis-based program because once you are working on your research project, the time is up to you, right? It's not specific courses. You are registering a course that is called proposal and one that is called thesis. But if you go into a co-op for 4 months, you come back and you can keep working on your thesis once again. You don't have to wait another year, right? Or another 6 months for the courses to open again. you will go back to work almost losing no time. In the course base, you have to assess that very carefully.
Another question. My interest is on e-commerce and digital marketing, and I want to know if this is an explorable option in the thesis-based option.
Well, Peter, the thesis base is a 20-month program. It is difficult for me to say if it's acceptable or not because the topic is very general. We tend to focus on a very narrow topic, so that is still could it be e-commerce or digital marketing, but very narrow, right? To give you an example in marketing, we have a faculty, a professor here, or a student that did a project in how the use of swear words impacted consumer behavior. And that was in marketing. Digital marketing, I believe it was, but using swear words in advertising, and how affected consumer behavior. It is a very narrow topic in a specific area in marketing. So and why I mention this, because your research project have to be a combination of what you want to do and what can faculty in our school can supervise. And often, in my experience, it's a compromise between resources, meaning the time you have available, the research interest you have, and what faculty can supervise. And so is, in general terms, I said every topic is available, but the conversation has to take place with those that can supervise you, right? And giving you free range in you choosing the topic, you deciding what to do is you will notice if you come into this program that is very time consuming and is not suitable for a master degree. If you will pursuing a PhD, which is typically a 4 or 5 year program, then you have more time. But a master students are very focused on get it done, and they want to do the thesis that is doable and is feasible for a master degree.
Thanks so much for that, Louise. All right, couple more questions. Is there a postgraduate work permit for the Masters of Management program? And another question about the postgraduate work permit. They did not hear or response regarding that.
Yes, it is my belief that still the master programs have the postgraduate permit. The new changes apply to very specific sectors like polytechnic or colleges, as we call them here in Canada, and undergrad programs. It is my understanding so far, and these are very new changes, right? So they were approved just a couple of weeks ago. We're still adapting to those. I think I still have the postgraduate work permit for master for grad programs that last more than 10 months, I believe. But all these questions can be asked to this email or the International Center of the university, and they will be able to provide you the answer.
Thanks so much for that. I think that was it. Somebody asked about the postgraduate work permit. We just answered that. So yeah. If anybody else has any additional questions for Louise while he's here, remember we have 2 programs we're discussing: our Masters of Management, that's starting our first cohort in fall 2025. And then we have our Masters of Science in Management. That's 2 pathways, the thesis pathway and the business analytics pathway. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email us at dylan.msc@uls.ca. That's the email displayed on the screen. But if you want to post any questions in the Q&A right now, we'd be more than happy to answer those. We have a couple more minutes before the session ends. Is there anything additional you wanted to add, Louise, while we wait?
Well, I think that for those that are interested in the Master of Science in Management, don't delay the GMAT. Don't delay the GMAT, and the sooner you take the GMAT, the better you are in terms of assessing your score and suitability for the program.
That is very excellent advice, Louise. One more question that was asked is, can the tuition be paid per semester?
Absolutely, and you pay for by the courses that you're registered in. I just wanted to give you the tuition total value so that you have an idea of how much it's gonna cost.
Here's a really good question. If we take the thesis base, we have a choice of thesis option and project option. Can you elaborate on that?
No, maybe I misspoke, but there is a thesis path and there is a course path. The thesis path, you need to do a thesis. In the course path, you need to do a project. If you are in a thesis path, you cannot do a project. You only can do a thesis project, a research project.
And they
And
posted
similarly,
from
in the business, sorry, in the course-based program, in the BANA program, you cannot end up doing a thesis. You have to do a project.
So Christine did do a screenshot of the website where it specifically says that the program offers students the flexibility to choose two pathways, thesis option, and then in bracket, research project, coursework, and co-op is optional. So I think the language is what's a bit confusing because it says research project. And it's actually your thesis that you're working on in the thesis pathway. Maybe that's what's a bit confusing, right?
Yeah, the thesis option is a research project, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so just want to clarify what you mentioned about waiving the GMAT. Is that a possibility for previous ULET students with GPAs above 3.75?
Yes, it is only a possibility for ULEF former students or current students with a GPA. I think it's 3.75. It may be 3.7, but it's 3.75, Hannah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's only for ULEF students or former students.
Yeah. So if you're a former ULET student and you did, you have to have done a bachelor's of management. and
Or
it can be
related, yeah.
or related or a combined degree with
Mhm.
management, any of those, then, and your GPA is above the 3.7, then you can apply for the waiver in your application. Christine is asking again for more clarification on the project aspect of the thesis. I think we kind of went through the fact that the thesis option offers you for you to do a research paper. And then the business analytics, which is the project pathway, you do a project under that option. So I know the language might seem a little bit confusing on the website, but it does say research project, which is indicative of a thesis. So we're sorry about the misunderstanding based on the website, Christine. So maybe that's something we want to consider clarifying, Louise, just it's not that clear. Another question is, can I apply more applications for different programs at the same time in your university? You can only apply for one program at a time. So you have to decide which program it is that you want to apply for and apply for that specific program. You can't apply to multiple programs. You will only get the option to select one program in your application. All right. My master's was a distinction. Does that mean I don't need the GMAT?
Everybody needs a GMAT except for those University of Lethbridge students or former students that have a GPA of at least 3.75.
And it's also important to note that when you are applying to multiple institutions, majority do ask for the GMAT. So if you do the GMAT, you can use that score for multiple applications. So not only for the University of Lethbridge. And it's very common requirement for any Masters of Management program in Canada. For you to do the GMAT. Similar, if you want to get into law school, you do the LSAT, or you want to go in medical schools, you do the MCAT. So for management programs, the GMAT is a pretty normal assessment test that that is asked for.
Yes.
Okay, Christine was just clarifying, she was just showing us where she saw that language. Thank you so much, Christine. So Timothy says, if my GPA is low and I pass the GMAT, can I go ahead and apply? It's a great question.
I think those are the cases that are borderline, Timothy. And if those are considerations that sometimes the program committee takes. But please send an email to that email that I posted on the screen, because we can run this by the program committee as a question if they will be interested, and you can speak up to the specific with Tammy, and certainly we can provide you more advice. Yeah, I cannot definitely say without seeing the having more information. We need to talk to the program committee.
Yeah. Okay. So if there are no other questions, Louise, you wanna have any final words before we go?
Yes, please, and don't hesitate to send us email if you have questions or if you need more clarification. We will be happy to answer your questions. I want to let you know that there is a chat bot now in the Future Students website, and we are just testing that. This is using it for the first time. Hopefully, is providing the answers you are seeking, and if not, by all means, please contact us in that email you see on the screen.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Louise, and answering all these questions. We hope that you found this webinar extremely helpful in helping you decide if you want to pursue your management program with us here at the University of Lethbridge. Again, feel free to send us an email if you